Sorry. Good afternoon again, you all. We are here. It's 5:45, and we're going to begin. We are going to go into this portion is our swearing-in ceremony for our newly elected council member for District 4, Councilwoman Dewanica Cola Cooper. Um, we have our program. Everything is set. The protocol is set. Who's going to come? Okay. We have Councilmember-elect Cooper's family and friends accompanying her, and we're going to go ahead with the oath, the reading of the oath.
I, Dewanica Cooper,
I, Dewanica Cooper,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified,
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of the state,
according to the Constitution of the state,
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duty of the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve, protect, and defend
and preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of this state and the United States.
the Constitution of this state and of the United States.
As a council member of the City of Lake City,
As a council member of the City of Lake City,
I will equally, fairly, and impartially,
I will equally, fairly, and impartially,
to the best of my ability and skill,
to the best of my ability and skill,
exercise the trust reposed in me,
exercise the trust reposed in me,
and will use my best endeavor to preserve
and will use my best endeavor to preserve
the peace and carry into effect,
the peace and to carry into effect,
according to law,
according to law,
the purpose of which I have been elected, so help me God.
the purpose in which I have been elected, so help me God.
All right, squeeze in. Squeeze in. Come on. There we go. Thank you so very much.
I'm absolutely thankful. This is a humbling experience. Secondly, I would like to thank my dad because if anybody has been on this campaign trail with me, it has been Charles Nero. So, Daddy, thank you so much. You know I appreciate you. Okay. But going forward, thank you to the citizens of Lake City and especially the citizens of District 4. Thank you so much for making me your voice for our community. I really appreciate y'all. I am ready to work and work for the betterment of Lake City. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Stand as you take your seat. That's the end of our swearing-in ceremony. I thank everyone for coming to support Councilwoman Cooper. I'm gonna have to get used to that. I called her earlier today. And we have 10 minutes before our 6 p.m. regular city council meeting begins. So we have a 10-minute break. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mayor Robinson, and I am calling this meeting to order. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the public is encouraged to wear face masks and social distancing measures have been put in place. Seating is limited. Reminder before the meeting begins, we ask that you silence your cell phones. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my city, our city, of Lake City, South Carolina. We will be led by Councilwoman Scott for the invocation, and the pledge will be led by Councilman Brown. Everyone, please stand.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy that allow us to be here to see another day, another month, a new year. We thank you, dear God, for our new council member that came on board to work and be concerned about her community. We pray to Heavenly Father, you'll bless each and every one that are here this evening. Give them grace of mercy. We pray to Heavenly Father, you continue to bless Lake City, bless our mayor, bless all the elected officials in our area for the whole world. We pray to Heavenly Father, you bless each and every one of us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Councilwoman Scott, for the invocation. Thank you, Councilman Brown, for the pledge. Madam Clerk, can you please poll city council members? Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Singletary.
Present.
Councilmember Wilhelmina Scott.
Present.
Councilmember Askins.
Present.
Councilmember Crosby.
Present.
Newly elected Councilmember Cooper.
Present.
Councilmember Bell.
Present.
Mayor Robinson, I find there to be a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now I need a motion to approve the adoption or to adopt the agenda as printed.
Move to adopt.
Seconded.
It has been properly moved in second. All in favor, show of hands. Okay. Next, I need a motion to approve the minutes. Approval of the March 14th mayor and council meeting. Approval of the March 15th special call-in meeting. And approval of the March 27th special mayor and council meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. All in favor, show of hands. Thank you. Next, we will move on to presentations. We have a couple of presentations. First, we will have the PD Coalition, Ms. Harriet Rose. And this month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Child Abuse Month, Awareness Month, excuse me. Second presentation, we will have Roberta Burns for Art Fields. In that order, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Robinson and, Lake City Council members. Thank you for letting me have, a few minutes to speak with you about, Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
As you know, I'm pretty sure you have read the news, seen, hear about a lot of crime, sexual assault, not just in this area, but across the state of South Carolina. Across this whole state, we have coalitions that are fighting to keep women safe, along with men and children. The battleground is here. It is not easy doing what we do, but we're here to support this city. And I truly encourage everybody that's in here I'm a trauma counselor. There's a young lady that also works with me, Asia McFadden. We are here for the city. We're not here just to be here. And we are asking that you all please, if you know somebody that needs to come and just talk, encourage them to come to us. We are here in the administrative building. We have a crisis line, a 24-hour crisis line that we have a live person, and the young lady that does handle the crisis line, she does have a master's in counseling. When it goes, switch over to the evening on the crisis line, there is ladies that are counselors also. So they are credentialed, and I don't care if they want to stay on the phone all night long, they can, because we are always here to help and serve. So, and also, it is Child Abuse Awareness Month. I know that Lake City Police Department has a hotline, and you don't have to tell anybody. You know, if you know of someone that you have suspicious, you don't have to tell your name when you call that hotline. They have a victim's advocate, 2 ladies, that I can say that do their job 24 hours out the day. They don't hesitate, they don't complain, and we closely work with them on this. In the news, children are dying at the hands of their parents every day. It's just heartbreaking, the stories we hear every day. The Durant Center in Florence, South Carolina has a hotline, 24 hours hotline, where parents can call. Only thing they have to do is go to the website. And they can call this 24-hour hotline any time of the day. When they get stressed, when they feel overwhelmed, they can call this hotline, and it's confidential, and they can just vent. They can ask for advice. These are trained psychologists, nurses, counselors that is on this hotline. And it is dedicated to parents, guardians, grandparents, whoever is in charge of children. You can ask questions, they'll help you get resources, but you have to ask. And I'm standing here tonight and I'm pleading. I'm pleading with everyone that's in here. If you know something, police department has a hotline. Everybody say the police department don't do this and don't do that. It's not up to the police department to raise anybody's kids. It's up to the parents. And we got to start working as a community so that we can let people know that they do have resources and they're not out here by themselves. There is help. So I ask you all to please keep that in mind. If you hear something, if you don't feel comfortable calling the police officer, just call us. Call PD Coalition. We'll make sure all information is confidential. The only time we don't keep it confidential, if someone threatened suicide, threatened to hurt someone, child abuse, we have to report. We are first responders. We have to report. But that is the only time. Everything else is confidential. So thank you all for giving me this moment. I am so sorry that I don't have any handouts or anything. I've been in Florence all day long. As my job, trauma counselor. So I've been pulling in many directions, but I do love what I do, and I do love serving the city of Lake City. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose, for that information. And like everyone heard her, there are resources for people that need help. If you know anyone, please let them know that we are here for them at the PD Coalition.
And Ms. Rose, can you share the telephone number for PD Coalition?
Hold on a second.
You do it in the mic and it will go across all of Facebook.
Oh, it will? Okay.
And it will be recorded.
And I do again apologize.
It's okay.
I didn't bring anything with me. Okay. I think it is 843-664-4000.
Thank you.
That's the number.
Thank you.
Ms. Roberta Burns.
Mayor Robinson, council members, thank you so much for having me here tonight. We are very excited for Art Fields coming up starting next Wednesday. So this year we're doing 11 days for 11 years. So we're starting a couple days earlier than our normal Friday kickoff. And we're so excited to be once again hosting the event. One of our staff that was out installing artwork came back and said that one of the venues said that they were surprised to see us installing because they thought that the city of Lake City was doing Art Fields this year. And I took really good heart in that because it meant that people are seeing us as a strong partnership. And we're so thankful for everything that the city has been doing to make sure that Art Fields is a success and to participate with us in that event. So that was really exciting to me. And we're very thankful, as always, for your support. I'm going to hand these out to all. There should be enough for everyone up here. We've got a few exciting events that are happening in conjunction with the regular artwork viewing. So artwork is on display every day of the 11 days, including that first Sunday. So there's lots of time to check out all the artwork I'm sure you've seen popping up in the businesses. Some of the outdoor work always shows up first and is an exciting nod that Art Fields is indeed on the way. We'll kick off on Wednesday at 11 o'clock with our ribbon cutting. Mayor Robinson will be there to give some remarks and to help us officially cut the ribbon. And that will be at our Welcome Center, which this year is at the old Top Notch building at 103 West Main. So I invite all of you to come, enjoy the ceremonial ribbon cutting and some cake and punch to kick off the 11th year of Art Fields. Then Thursday, there'll be a gallery opening at Front Gallery, which is behind Badcock Furniture. They're doing a community show of different artists from the Lake City community and beyond. So that will be a really exciting thing to have in conjunction. There will also be a magician at the Bean Market, hosted by the City of Lake City. On Friday, there will be an Earth to Mars experience band, also hosted by the City of Lake City. We're really excited about that on Village Green. On Saturday, there'll be the Makers Market, portrait contest, Family Day on the Green from the city, and then that night there'll be an Inside the Circle concert, which is a new event this year in partnership with SCETV and Marshall Marine. So they'll be transforming Marshall Marine into a concert venue, and so there'll be live music and then food. We're partnering with chefs from Newfoundland, Canada, and South Carolina to have kind of a cultural fusion. And all the ticket proceeds are benefiting the Lake City Boys and Girls Club. So please encourage folks to get tickets because that's an event that's bringing in culture and flavor from far away, but it's benefiting us right here in Lake City, close to home. On Sunday, there'll be art makers in the Bean Market and the Makers Market again. And then we have a full week of artwork viewing every day. Thursday night, we'll be showing the Art Fields documentary on the Green. So I'd love for y'all to come out and see that. Former Mayor Loveth gets to make some appearances in that one. On Friday night, there'll be artist talks where a lot of the artists get to come in and share the story behind their artwork. And then the Bay Street Brassworks concert from the Lake City Concert Series. And then Saturday is our big day. We'll have the Art Fields Junior Award ceremony at 1 o'clock in the Bean Market, and then finale night on the Green at 7. So it'll be an exciting week full of celebrating art and artists from far away and close to home. We have 3 Artfields Junior venues this year, and I want to mention them specifically because I know that the student artwork is some of everyone's favorite. It'll be at the Old Railway Dining Car, the Stables, and Polyphony Music. So that's where all of our baby's artwork is, and we're really excited about that, as well as the adult competition artwork in about 45 other venues around town. So we're really excited, and as always, please register to vote for our People's Choice Awards. We do 2 People's Choice Awards that are $12,500 each, so you can really change an artist's life by voting for your favorite artworks. Run around town, pick your favorites. Everyone likes to put on their art critic hat. So we hope to see you all there. I hope to see you all there. I'll have these sitting at the door there if anyone wants to grab one on your way out. And thank you all again so much for your support and your commitment to Artfields and everything that we're doing to better the city together.
Thank you, Roberta Burns. If you could not see her face as she was up here presenting, she was smiling the whole time. So she just made me more excited about the 11 days of Artfields that's coming up next week, starting next week. So everybody come out, bring your family, tell everyone, come visit. We got some great things in the next couple of weeks for Lake City. Thank you, Roberta. That's the end of our presentations. Next, we will go to our public comment period. Comments are limited to 2 minutes per person, and no personal or verbal attacks will be entertained. The council is interested in
When he came out, I said, they said you out of, the advertisement said you out of town, but he was here. Speaking with him, we gave him what we wanted. He said, Mr. Hanna, I think he called me Mr. Hanna, at 2 o'clock, we will have an officer there because that's the time the function started. 2 o'clock. We left. Nobody ever seen an officer. Those 4 phone calls went on deaf ear. No one called from the police department. So no police calls 4 times. Nobody came by to see us. And then I called back before that. I said, it said we're going to accumulate a lot of trash. So I said to the city administrator, he said, no problem. We'll send someone down to get the trash. But fortunately enough, there were some men who came by and wanted to know what was going on. Let's come on and get this food. It's free. We're giving free food to hundreds of people. I don't know, 300-400 people. Free to the citizens of Lake City. And we could not get the cooperation that I thought that my hometown, that I brag about, that I invest in, do. And Bishop Carmen told me he's sending a letter to you all, but I already said I was coming face to face. I'm Jerry Hanna. I thank you for the time. Netta's Temple is still there, about 80 years old. And my deal for coming here is that I fought hard so that nobody else would come this way. And we hope that no other church will ever have to go through what my church went through. Because if this church was on Main Street or Church Street,
anyone else for public comment? Okay, we're going to move on to our legislative portion of the meeting. City Administrator William Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, for your consideration, we have the legislative part of ordinance number 2023.003, second and final reading. An ordinance expanding by annexing Florence County Tract TMS number 00196-31-183, said parcel being contiguous to the current corporate boundaries of the city owned by Peter Patel, who has duly petitioned for annexation and all matters related thereto.
I need a motion to approve ordinance 2023.003, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions?
Yes, for the public's sake, can you tell us what, being that it's already contiguous to the current corporate boundaries of the city of Lakes owned by Peter Patel?
We'll let
is
the
there-
code enforcement officer respond to that.
Okay.
Greg, if you would, please, step up.
This piece of property is being annexed in. Business has come in and purchased an acre, a little over an acre of that land, just south of the pawn shop. The business is coming in that is owned by Mr. Patel. With him bringing the business into it, he wanted the city to be involved, and we basically said, you've got to annex to come into the city for city assistance and help.
What kind of business is it?
It is a Dunkin' Donuts and a Baskin Robbins.
How soon do they plan to, if this goes through, how soon do they plan to?
They're already working,
into effect.
they are already in the process right now of developing the site plans for it.
Okay.
And then as soon as that, been talking to Mr. Patel, both Mr. Patel and his partner, they are looking around October, they're wanting to have this completely up and running.
Everything is with DHEC right now, and DHEC's hands right now for final approval from DHEC.
Yeah, but they have already purchased the property, and they're just waiting on DHEC, correct, Mr. Hart?
Any other questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Mayor and Council, for your consideration, ordinance number 2023.004, second and final reading. An ordinance authorizing the execution of equipment lease purchase agreement in the amount not to exceed $283,000 related to the purchase of a street sweeper and payments of related cost to the city of Lake City, South Carolina, authorizing the execution of other necessary documents and papers and other matters related thereto. Mayor and Council, we will say that this was a resolution that was presented a month ago. We then turned around and found out that it was cheaper for us to do an ordinance and get a tax exempt status on it. It's about a $20,000 savings in going in this direction. So that's why we now have this for second and final reading.
Okay, I need a motion to approve ordinance 2023.004, second and final reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions?
What's the condition of the, obviously, they want this because the current street sweeper is not in effect?
It's
not,
dead. The
not
motor needs to
functional.
be replaced, and the consensus is do not put any more money in it. It's been towed to two different shops,
Okay,
and both people refuse to work on it because it's dead.
okay, what year is it?
It's 10 years old. What we intend to do is once we move forward and get everything in place, we will put it on Gov Deals to auction it off, and it will be informed that the engine has problems.
Did they say what the price would be to replace it?
More than it's worth.
Approximately.
Its statement was made, it would cost more to replace the engine than the unit's worth. Quote, quote, end quote, of a specific price. They didn't go any further because the repair shop didn't want to deal with it.
Any other questions, council? No, ma'am. If no other questions, all in favor, show of hands.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Mayor and Council, for your consideration, ordinance number 2023.005, first reading. An ordinance known as 60 acres on West Cole Road, Lake City, South Carolina, tax map number 00169-31-287, currently zoned R3, and requesting to be rezoned to OIA office, institutional, apartments, and all matters related thereto. Mayor and Council, this is the property that's right down the road to the right of Cole Road, 278 Cole Road, the city's property, currently being converted to a community recreation center.
Is that right there?
Let me get a motion first, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2023.005, first reading?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Properly moved in second. No questions.
That's right there behind the apartments there, that big
Yes,
building
sir.
back in there?
Yes,
What
sir.
they plan on doing back there?
Is it releasable at this point, Greg?
What I can release is at this time in January, the property was sold to a business up in New Jersey. That it has already closed. At this time, they are bringing a school located that was in New Jersey. They looked through Florida, North Carolina, and Lake City, and they chose Lake City. And that property, they purchased it, and they are bringing a school. Also, they will have single-family homes, dormitories for the school coming onto that property.
What kind
They've
of school is
completely
that?
moved, they're going to move their entire operation from New Jersey to the city of Lake City.
It's like a boarding school?
It's like a music school.
It's a music school. It's a music consortium.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So Lake City won out on a whole dozen
yes.
of cities that they visited.
Okay.
Did it say about how many, they're gonna erect a building there?
Yes, ma'am. Its total value is gonna be an $85 million project. And jobs for the instructors, the teachers, and so forth. And they actually draw kids from all over, the country to come, to be a part of their school.
And they're actively searching for more property.
Okay.
Did they say approximately how many they will house there?
No, they have not. I know they are looking at, they're currently looking at building single-family homes on the property for their instructors, their teachers, and then it will be done in phases, and then they will be moving into building the dormitories for the students.
And that won't affect the apartments that's already there, correct?
No, sir. Now, we can't say what they may negotiate with the owners of the property on down the road, because it is a school, and we know how schools can expand based on their growth, but that, right now, there's no intent on taking over those apartments.
No, because they're completely owned by somebody else.
Correct.
Right. And based off of the 60 acres that they currently now own, it's more than adequate space to accommodate everything that they're looking at doing.
60 acres. Now, how far back, okay, behind
The
Cole Road Apartments,
the dirt road portion.
the dirt road portion, okay. Does that go towards Williamsburg County?
Yes, ma'am. If you're coming on Cole Road and you know where Davis Road turns,
Right.
if you continue onto now it's dirt, gravel. If you continue on, it's right there on the right-hand side behind the apartments is where it starts. And then it loops all the way around to the wooded area to the north side of the apartments also. Yeah, Max Top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
property been up for sale, how long, Alan? About 12 years, 10 years? But they've been marketing it actively the past. That's the conversation. Yeah.
So we can see that Lake City is being looked at for potential growth,
Yes.
which is a good thing. Any other questions, council members? None? If none, all in favor, show of hands.
All right, Mayor and Council, thank you so much for your consideration. Ordinance number 2023.006, first reading. The owners, Florence County, tax max number 00196-31139, currently owned by Nelson Willoughby, 701 U.S. Highway 52, Lake City, South Carolina, currently zoned R1, and requesting to be rezoned to OIA office, instruction, and apartments and all matters related thereto.
I need a motion to approve ordinance 2023.006, first reading.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2023.006 for first reading.
Been properly moved in second. Any questions?
That's another piece of property down there they want to annex in.
Across, yes, sir. Basically, for the purpose of being able to develop it.
Develop it. Okay.
If If I must say, with the tax map numbers that are on here, I believe it, like if you go, Google is a great tool. And if you go Google the tax maps, it can actually show you the area. I know we don't have addresses on here all the time, and you're kind of wondering where is this piece of land. So you can know what's going on in Lake City. If you Google that tax map number, it'll bring up an image of where that piece of land is. So just for, FYI.
GIS.
GIS.
GIS is one. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. All in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and Council, for your consideration, ordinance number 2023.007, first reading, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinance for the City of Lake City, South Carolina to establish good government practice regarding attendance by the city council members at the city council meeting and all matters related thereto.
I need a motion to approve ordinance 2023.007 for first reading, please.
Could you explain?
Let's
What
get
the
the motion, let's get the motion and second first.
Motion to approve.
I need a second.
Second.
It has been,
Ouch, something bit me.
it has been properly moved and second. Questions, please.
In my opinion, as a city council member for the city of Lake City, this is about the most egregious, nefarious, vindictive, and treacherous attempt to ask a council member
To be accountable.
not be accountable.
To be accountable.
Ask a council member to cut their nose off to spite their face. And the other matters related thereto, I don't know if there's anything, I'm pretty sure that with the Muni Code, if you're gonna subvert a council member's will and powers, you need to look at Muni Code. Muni Code does not endorse this, nor does Muni Code recognize this. And for anyone sitting here to allow anyone to demean or subvert their powers, you need to really give it a second thought. Why would you take away from yourself?
And me personally, on that note, I don't agree with this because I say on this note, I don't agree with this. When I run for office, I put in my campaign my livelihood, my job, and my obligations there. When the duty called on me every third day for 17 years and currently there, I understood my obligations there to protect, preserve, and life safety. And my obligations as a council member, I understand my obligations there. I will be fair, and I will be fair, equal, and impartially. And I take very seriously and dearly to my heart when I wrote my goals. I'm ready to serve the city as a council member. Together we can make a community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive together, and now I'm being asked to vote against myself and my fellow colleagues as an elected official. I feel that this is unprofessional, undermining, not good ethics. Whenever the great people of the city of Lake City elected me to this position to be the voice and the steward and work for them. I can say for sure There's no one in this room that will make 100% attendance to any meeting because of work, family, engagement, or any occurring emergencies.
Additionally, it's illegal, it's unethical, and without merit. I honestly feel that this is an attempt to single out certain members of council. There's not a person in this room who has ever had 100% participation in anything in their life. People will get sick, things will happen that you cannot attend. And as city administrator, you have to remember, council members, we and mayor, we are over the city administrator. I don't know who wrote this ordinance, but I'm assuming the city attorney wrote it. Well, the city attorney cannot rewrite the municipal association codes of ordinances or anything.
If I
And
must
again,
say,
this is illegal, it's unethical, and it's not necessary.
okay, for us to be able to move on, I must say that we do not expect 100% attendance. There's not any words in here that says 100%. We know life happens. We know things happen. We just have come to times where our council did not have a quorum. We are here to run the business of the city, and we have to have a quorum to do that. We got guidance from our attorney, and we received guidance from the municipal association. Attorney and the municipal association read over this. It's not unethical. It's not illegal. If it was, it wouldn't be placed in front of us today. We're not,
When you do not have a quorum, then you have to call another meeting, point blank. Anything catastrophic can happen at any time. So to try to penalize someone to satisfy the desires of the naysayers, in my opinion, is without cause and is unnecessary.
any other questions or comments from the council?
So this is 3 or more, I'm sorry, council member asking, this is 3 or more meetings, correct?
Correct. 3 or more. You get 3. So
And
on the
sick
fourth
day-
one,
And sick days is included into the 3 days?
you get 3 days.
Just 3 days?
That's the way they recommended it be stated, three absence
In a fiscal year.
in a fiscal year, correct?
Okay, if that's the case, then that means the city administrator's salary needs to be cut, the city attorney needs to be cut, the assistant city administrator, if you got anything to do with it, be cut, and the mayor's salary cut.
Well, the mayor.
Now, you're talking
it
about,
said-
you're talking
excuse
about,
me, but it
you're
does
you're
say
talking
the
about
mayor-
attending council meetings.
It does say the mayor and council members. If the
No.
mayor, I myself was not here due to these restrictions, yes, my pay will get cut.
Well, I don't think it should be, even though what we're getting is change anyway, so why are you gonna bicker over
Okay.
a little bit of change?
Any other questions or concerns? Thank
Please
you.
allow me later
All in
to express
favor?
myself.
All in favor? Show of hands, please.
3 days. I like to comment. We must.
You already,
I feel we must have some type of regulation. I've been on board, this is my 4th term, and to my recollection, I missed 2 meetings in the past 12, 16 years. My husband died. I got COVID, he got COVID, we all got COVID. But yet, I felt my obligation were to be available to my citizen here to represent the city. And I don't want to feel like I'm throwing slang at anyone, but some type of regulation I feel need to be placed. I mean, when we take an oath that you're here to serve, whatever. I know we all have jobs. I mean, I don't anymore, not really. But we all have jobs. We have obligations. We have family come up, get sick, and all that kind of stuff. But then yet, you need to put effort to make sure that I feel bad when a quorum is not me. That's my personal feeling. And when there's things that have to be moved on, And because we're not here to vote on it, and then it back up to another month. And that's just my concern. What do we do? Let's go on and linger and linger. You know, we need to come together with some type of ordinance or some type of decision, not to hurt anybody's feelings. I think they're
Throwing shade is what they're doing.
shade at somebody
Like
else.
the young folks say,
I
throwing
would
shade.
never do that, but I was, told I am, but that's not me. That's not who I am.
You know, why pick on the council members? You know, this is something, in my opinion, that is so unimportant.
It's very
And
important.
then, no matter what I say, you're gonna come back with something, but this is not necessary. All these years I've been on council, we've never had anything like this. And like I said, I think this is a personal attempt to target certain individuals. And those who took part in it need to have their salaries cut or their jobs terminated, one or the other.
It's very important when and just like when Councilwoman Scott stated, it's very important when we are trying to make sure that our city is growing. And as you could hear from the different ordinance that's already been put in place, the different people that are looking at Lake City to bring jobs, what we want, to bring growth, to bring other people here, to make sure that our city is growing and prosperous. We, as a council, mayor and council, myself included, have to make sure that we are doing our duty to make that happen.
Since you've been mayor,
So
how
that
many times
is why this good government is being put in place. It's not to pick at anyone. We are doing this for the betterment of our city and for the citizens. And that's all I have to say.
This is, I don't know what this is necessitated by, but, how many times since you've been mayor has there not been a quorum?
If any other questions or concerns
I'm
about
asking you, how
about
many
this
times
ordinance, any
this-
other questions or
This is
concerns?
null and void, makes no sense.
I agree with Councilmember Scott. I'm just kind of in between with the whole 3 meetings and sick days are included into the 3 meetings. I mean, I got an 8 to 5. If I work all day and I got to come here, I expect everybody else to be here as well. But I don't know. It's just something about the number.
Well, who decides what the percentage is cut?
I work 24 hours, so
I work
every
8
day,
hours myself.
and it's alternating. It'd be different days. You get what I'm saying? I'm not making no excuse. If I was off, I would be here. I'm not making any excuse, but I don't think it's fair. And it's not about the money.
It's not about the
It's
money.
about being fair.
It's the principle.
It's the principle of it all to me.
And this is just being very catty and nitpicky.
Something got to be put in place. Something.
All these years I've been on council, all of a sudden, this is an issue. Was not an issue before, why all of a sudden? Makes no sense. This is so small. This is so small to have to bicker back and forth about.
Okay, then let's end this now. We do have a motion on the floor. It was properly moved in second. So we need to make a vote, however we want to make the vote on this tonight.
Last question was all in favor.
All in favor, show of hands.
Something got to be put in place.
Maybe let the lawyer come and explain this,
If you,
to get a
Okay.
better understanding, so we all, because we did already, right?
We did.
The lawyer, yes.
Right.
He looked over all of this.
I know, right. Maybe he come to,
Okay. Any opposes? We did all in favor. Any opposes, show of hands. Ms. Scott?
It's the number. That's the only thing for me. But I can't.
Mayor and council, for your consideration, we have resolution number 2023.112 for final reading. Resolution seeking approval to reappoint Mr. Lee Harley to the Architectural Review
no,
Board
you
for
missed one. Missed an ordinance. 08.
We have an 08? I don't have an 08.
I haven't.
No, this is explanation. We have,
No, I don't need that. We have an 08? All right, well, then the 08 reading from the agenda is an ordinance regarding the Code of Ordinance for the City of Lake City, South Carolina to establish good government practices regarding to the powers of duties council and its members relating to the city offices and employees and all matters related thereto, which is relating back to 08. Relating back to 07. So the two of those went together.
Well, both of them did.
Different things with that one, though. But this one is about attendance. This one is your duties and knowing your.
Checking.
Yeah, I don't really think that go with that. I don't think that go with that. The 7 is about attendance. 8 is basically knowing your duties and what you can and cannot do. That's how I'm looking at this one.
07.
Not a 12. Yeah. Like I said.
Yes.
Well, the two went together, so.
So we're going to omit 08 for the record. Ordinance number 2023.008 for first reading will be omitted from the record. Mayor and Council, for your consideration, resolution number 2023.112, final reading. Resolution seeking the approval to reappoint Mr. Lee Harley to the Architectural Review Board for another 2-year term ending on March 31st, 2025, and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.12, final reading.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023.12 for final reading.
Seconded.
Properly moved in second. Any questions?
Do we have other individuals to apply for the Architectural Review Board? Any other applicants?
Madam Clerk, how many applicants did we get for this position?
We did not get any applicants for the AR before Mr. Hartley expressed interest 2 months prior to his time expired.
Okay.
So he wanted to be reappointed. There was no other applicants.
Okay. What method did you use to notify other applicants?
We had no other applicants, so we didn't have to notify anybody. Mr. Hartley expressed interest to be reappointed.
But did you advertise it?
No, ma'am, there was no reason to re-advertise for the ARB board. If a person who's already been placed on the board wants to be reseated on the board through council and mayor.
But then, my understanding is that council pretty much decides this, and that's why I asked the question if other people applied, because I've talked with other people in the community who would like an opportunity to participate or serve on some of these boards.
Well, we have advertised for the planning commission. We have not applied for, we did not advertise for ARB. As I said, Mr. Lee Harley expressed interest to be reappointed to the board. If he expressed non-reappointment, then we would have went out on an advertisement for the vacancy.
Okay, so is there a policy in place that says if he expressed interest that we don't advertise for it?
Not that I'm aware of, ma'am.
Okay.
I can check into it.
Okay, if you will, please check into it, because I think, even though he expressed interest, that's still an appointed board.
Right, that's
And
why it's brought to you as a resolution to be reappointed.
I think in the future, we need to probably revisit that.
I think Greg probably can address that better than I can.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
As far as
The advertisement,
right,
what is a mandatory or in-house?
Under ARB, no, it is not in our ordinance. Other boards, certain things are required for publication and advertisement.
But under ARB, there's not, you said?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Under our ordinance currently, there's nothing that states that there is a set that you have to advertise and put it out under the ARB.
Okay.
Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, that is a different story, but under our ordinance, under ARB, there's nothing as at this
Okay.
time.
Okay, thank you. Can you
Yes,
get me a
ma'am.
copy of that ordinance, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you get it tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
It should be in the Muni codes, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
ma'am, it is. It's in the Muni code.
It's in the Muni
Well, if you will
codes.
get a copy for me, please, thank you.
And we'll send that to all the council members, Greg.
Good, good.
Any other questions from council? All in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and council, for your consideration, resolution number 2023.14, final reading. A resolution from the city of Lake City seeking approval for acceptance to support April as Fair Housing Month. Also, city of Lake City rejects discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, national origin, disability, and/or family status in this sale, rental, or provisions of other housing services and all matters related thereto.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2023.14 for final reading?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023.14 for final reading.
Second,
Properly moved in second. All in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and council, for your consideration, resolution 2023.015, final reading. The city of Lake City hereby authorizing that planning commission's meetings will be held the third Monday of each month starting July 1st, 2023. This allows for the code enforcement officer, city clerk, ample time to advertise according to the newspaper and to post properties in accordance with the law, which states public newspapers in general circulation in the municipality or county. In cases involving variances or special exceptions, conspicuous notice shall be posted on all adjacent to the property affected, which at least one such notice being visible from each public fair and about the property.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.015 for final reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions? If none, all in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and council, for your consideration, resolution number 2023.016, final reading. The city of Lake City is seeking approval, is appointing Mr. Herbert McFadden to the Planning Commission Board for a term of 4 years. I'm sorry, Hubert.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.016 for final reading.
Move to approve.
Seconded.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions?
whose term expired?
This was to fill the vacancy for Ms. Barbara Bryant, who held a District 3 Florence seat, which was a conflict of interest. So we were backfilling behind her position.
Okay, so here again, do we have any other applicants
We
to
sure
apply?
did.
Okay.
We had 4 applicants, and we interviewed 3 of those applicants. One of the applicants did not make the interview. We waited, did not show, and the committee chose to pick Mr. McFadden.
Okay, now if council is asked to appoint these people, then I feel council should be in on that interview. And I think that's only protocol that council is there.
Greg?
Getting a lot of exercise tonight, Greg, huh?
Actually, in the ordinance, there's nothing that states that. We had a application process. We went through, we held the interviews, asked questions. For me, because I'm the one who presents to the Planning Commission, and knowing the things that we have moving forward, I specifically asked questions of knowledge, you know, because we do have a lot coming. And a lot will go before planning commission before it has to come to you. There's certain things that have to come before the planning commission before it comes to you. And if it's not approved at planning commission, it does not come to mayor and council. Mr. McFadden, overwhelmingly with his military experience and his knowledge of base closures when the military had a lot of base closures, his experience in being able to move and close and open bases was was really the nail in the coffin for us, that he had the experience to be a part of the planning commission.
Okay, I have no problems with him, but since we don't have an ordinance to that effect, I think we need to enact one, and if council has to be the ones to appoint, council should have the opportunity to be able to interview these people also, because there are trainings that they are required to go to, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Everyone has to go to the annual, there's an annual, you have to Mr. McFadden will have to do the initial 6 hours, and then the 3 continuing education hours every year.
Okay, well,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see council involved in these interviews, and we need to enact an ordinance.
What we need to do at that point is amend the current ordinance, and that would have to go through 2 readings in order to amend the
That'll be,
ordinance.
however, we can do it, because if we are to appoint them, we need to know, I respect what you're saying. I don't doubt what you're saying. But I think to have firsthand interviewing with these people is tantamount to being able to appoint them.
With being new as city clerk, was that previously done by city council?
It was not done, no, but it needs to be done now, I feel.
No, when we have all, do take in consideration, when we have all council members, if we have all council members at an interview, that means that's a quorum, and that's a public meeting. So that means everybody here will be in that interview session.
Well, that can be designed where you have a few council members, you have a list of questions to ask the person, you can give the council member the questions, and so it will not be construed as a quorum. We can set it where the interview is not that long, because you don't want to detain the person that much. But still, here again, we still need to interview those people, in my opinion.
That would be 3 separate meetings with 3 council members, 3 council members, and 1 council member.
However you want to do it.
And then at that point, we'll be looking at attendance again. So at this moment, where we stand with the ordinance in place, any other questions from the council?
I guess amend the ordinance next time.
We have the motion
Amend it.
properly moved in second. All in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and council, for your consideration, Resolution 2023.017, a resolution establishing approval for the acceptance of the recommendation from the bid committee to award Digging Deep the construction contract for the multipurpose field and walking pathways at Blanding Street Park and all matters related thereto. Mayor and council, this is an ordinance we've gone through the process based on the federal government, the grant criteria. This is the land conservation grant that we applied for, was awarded. It's a 50-50 share. The total cost is $403,400.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2023.017, final reading.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2023.017, final reading.
Seconded. That's gonna be,
It has been, sorry, that's okay. It has been properly moved in second. Any questions?
that's gonna be the walkway through new fields back there? That's gonna be all the fields around Blanket Street.
They're building a multi-purpose field, 1.5 fields. There'll be a walkway around the entire backside. This is the one that we obligated and deeded that piece of property to the federal government because we no longer can do anything with it. That part took place in prior council meetings. We went through the process with the grant to make sure we facilitated everything they required. This will allow Digging Deep to do the back part, but it's not going into the wooded area.
Okay, for the public's sake, how much money are we talking about?
The total cost of the project, again, is $403,000. It's a 50-50 grant. The city's obligated to $201,700.
Okay, how many bids were sent out? Or how many were collected? Look, number one, how many were sent out?
We got 10 was sent out, 1 responded.
Really?
And we sent that to the federal government. They reviewed the bid and they accepted it. This was the second attempt to bid this out. The first attempt, the federal government did not accept the bid requirements, and so we rebid it. And at that point, we had nobody submit a bid. So we have 1 response on this attempt.
Okay. How'd you send the bids out?
Mail, post it on the state bid site, website.
And only 1 response.
Digging deep.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and Council, for your consideration, resolution number 2023.18, final reading. A resolution establishing approval for the acceptance of the recommendation from the bid committee to award Housley the asbestos contract for the Southwest Area Demolition Project, continuing contingent on CDBG approval for the City of Lake City and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.18, final reading.
Move to approve Revolution 2023-018, final reading.
Seconded.
It has been properly moved and second. Any questions?
For the public's sake, can you tell me how much money is involved in this?
This bid was $7,969.
That was the grant.
That's the financial impact for the city of Lake City. Yes,
Grant.
$7,969.
$7,969 was the lowest bid and met all the criteria through DHEC.
Yes. And that's just a certain amount of homes getting demolished.
This is part of the asbestos homes in the area of which we have been talking about for about 2 years. For the grant, there were 38 properties pre-approved. It's gone through legal. We have these are the ones that we have done our asbestos testing on. First 12, correct? First 8.
The first 8.
First 8.
That's why all the blue signs is.
There you go. That's part, yeah, everything that we're advertising based on the requirements that the grant and the City of Lake City in partnership is demolishing these unfit homes.
How could, if someone want to get their property towed down, how will they get in touch with? They just come up to the city and let y'all know? Because I had someone call me about that. They want to get a house towed down.
It's not just the fact that we are picking the properties. We had to vet these through the federal government. They were the ones that finalized the addresses.
So they have to get with the government.
It's a long process, yes. It wasn't that we sent them a bunch of addresses.
Yeah, it was specified in that grant, and when you specify certain addresses, you have to stay within those specifications in that grant until possibly go for another grant.
Another grant, because earmarked that we do not tear that house down that was on the grant application, we send the money back to the federal government.
So we got guidelines to go by.
Okay. Because someone called me about it this week and asked me how will they go about it. I didn't know.
We would love to just take that money that we didn't use on one house and move it to another one, but the federal government says, no, you can't do that. And even after we tear the house down, we have guidelines we have to meet.
Any other questions? Okay, if none, all in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and Council, for your consideration, Resolution 2023.19, final reading. A resolution establishing approval for the acceptance of the recommendation from the bid committee, the award Flippin Construction on the non-asbestos contract for the Southwest Area Demolition Project, contingent with the CDBG approval for the city of Lake City and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2023.19 for final reading.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023.19 for final reader.
Been properly moved and second. Any questions?
How much money we talking about with this one?
This one is for $22,095.
I'm trying to understand, I know it is, this is for the public to know about it. Okay, I'm trying to understand the asbestos as opposed to the non-asbestos.
Asbestos, that means they have to do certain criteria to remove the asbestos in the house before they
Right.
can move forward.
Right.
The non-asbestos, they can just move forward and start demolishing the home. We have done testing on every one of these
Okay,
homes and
okay.
sent them to a laboratory based on the criteria of the grant.
Okay, I mean, how many homes did that entail?
There were 8.
The initial, this is our first round of 3 or 4 rounds. The first 8 in the first round, of all those 8, 2 came back as asbestos. The other 6 have no asbestos. That's why we've got 2 separate contracts, one for the abatement and removal of asbestos before it can be tore down, and then the other 6 have no asbestos, so they can move forward with demolition.
Well, there's such a difference in the cost for each. One is $7,969, the other one is $22,000.
We're looking at 6 houses versus 2 houses.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. City administrative reports.
Mayor and council, for your information, you have in front of you page 99, the general fund revenue for the month ending March 31st, 2023. We are at year-to-date $8,037,000. That's 89% of the budget. For the expenditures, we're at $7,947,000. That's 88% of the budget. We have a surplus of $89,658. For the water fund, the year-to-date, we're at $1,243,000. That's 70% of the budget. On the expense side, we're at $1,243,600, and we're $19 overspent. In the sewer fund, we have revenue totaling $2 million. Bill list for your approval, items 1 through 7.
Need a motion to approve bills, items 1 through 7 for April 11, 2023. Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Questions? No questions? Okay. All in favor, show of hands.
Mayor and council, that's all I have for you as administrative report, but I'm going to ask Chief Cooper to come up and give an update on some activity that's happened in the city of Lake City. Chief Cooper, if you don't mind, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council, citizens of Lake City. Just want to give you an update on some cases that we're working on in the city of Lake City. In the midst of a lot of calls we have for discharging firearms and is reported as shootings within the city, just going back a couple of months, on January 31st, 2023, Lake City Police Department responded to Wallace Street in reference to residents being shot at. So there was individuals in and out the city, between the city and the county, firing rounds at houses in an attempt to maybe injure someone, or just doing it just out of blatant disregard for the law. Short time later, in February of 2023, officers with Lake City Police Department responded to a shooting on Independence Avenue to where another resident was shot. And they found the evidence that someone had actually discharged a firearm into a dwelling over there, striking the home and the car. And also, shortly after, officers received another call of 2 houses being shot on Ray Street. Several months after that investigation was actually ongoing, Lake City Police Department investigators identified and arrested 2 suspects involved in these shootings. They were identified and quickly brought in and served warrants for attempted murder. These individuals were both charged with 12 counts of attempted murder, 4 counts of discharging a firearm to a dwelling, and 4 counts of use of weapon during the commission of a violent crime. Anytime an individual discharges a firearm into a dwelling or residence into a vehicle where individuals are present, you multiply that by how many times the individual is actually in that vehicle. So if 4 people in the house, they shot up the house, that's attempted murder times 4 people. So, and those individuals that we identified have been arrested. And we have several more cases that we're working on that are still in investigation. On February 9th, 2023 of this year, Lake City Police Department, we responded to a shooting on Graham Road where a residents was shot. Investigators were able to identify a suspect in this case and was arrested and charged with 1 count of attempted murder, 1 count of discharging a firearm to a dwelling, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. This individual approached the residence on Graham Road and fired several shots into the window. It was not random. These shooting calls that we have in these incidents we're investigating is not random. There is a cause as to why they're doing this. Since I've been in Lake City, no one has ever shot my house up, but I'm the police. So despite what you may think, it's not random. But we're going to investigate, and we are investigating. We have been investigating. In the last 3 months, we've had 15 incidents involving firearms. And if some of you, if it makes you feel good to say it's the police fault, go right ahead. Because it's not. These are people that's your family members. The reason why I say that, because in January it was 7 of them. February it was 2. March it was 4. And also in April, starting out this month, it's been 2 already. There's 15 incidents, just a little over 90 days. We're going into 90 days. During that time, the Lake City Police Department, because we don't do anything, we confiscated over 20 guns, ammunition, and drugs, and money from our family, because we don't do nothing. We got rifles that belong to people in this courtroom. We got guns that belong to people in this courtroom that you claim you know nothing about. But we arrested individuals who had it. So to that I say, to thy own self be true before you call out the police. 20 of them, starting from January to March. And because we're so slack in our duties, we were able to lock up 4 people. Let me tell you who they are since they're already on the website. Jareek Carson, attempted murder. Oh, I forgot to tell you his age. 18 years old. Keandre Copeland, attempted murder. Some of these guys 10 and 15 times, they're riding around the city shooting. If they're kidding you, you ain't got to say nothing, I already know. 18 years old. Javante Burgess, out of Lake City, 19 years old. What I'm showing you is on the website, so don't be shocked. And some of y'all talk about it on Facebook. He kidding y'all too, 19 years old. Travis Romulus, shot a guy in the neck a couple weeks ago. Kid still paralyzed. He's out on bond anyway for driving a vehicle and I think possession of marijuana. He kidding you too. No one called the police though, but the police ain't doing nothing. But some of these people are found in some of y'all houses, but y'all don't call the police. It's hard to do our job if we don't have an assistance from the community, but you're quick to stand up here and point the finger at the police. That's pretty good though, but there's no problem. Because we as the police, like I said before, we adapt. We're going to do our job. Like I said before, trust the process. There are several more individuals that we're looking at. Several more individuals we're going to arrest for attempted murder. And if it's connected to you in any way with these guns, because we work with ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearm, explosive, we'll be seeing you too. It'll stop once you help us make it stop. We can't provide security and comfort to everybody in the city. You can call me all day and all night. If you know somebody is actually discharging a firearm or shooting in your neighborhood, you call 911. I appreciate the fact that you called me. I'm not the police for 6,000 people. That's why I have a staff. Call 911. There's a purpose in that. There's a process as to why we do that. When you call these individuals, you don't have to give your name. Just give the information on what you heard and where you heard it at, where you think it came from, and we'll do the rest. Now, there are a lot more. There's a lot more of individuals involved in this, for these attempted murders. My investigators for the past couple of weeks have drafted over 50 warrants. We ain't served them all yet. State Law Enforcement Division, commonly known as SLED, says when we find shell casings and information and evidence at a crime scene, we must send it to them. They're going to process it to double check to make sure it's that individual who actually fired it or that it came from a weapon that we already got. Like I said before, it's a process. We got time. We're going to slow walk you down. We don't have no problem. But running up here every month because you think we're not doing our job, these officers are going to do their job. I defend these guys every day and twice on Sunday if they're doing something they're not supposed to. But I'm not going to let you beat them up if they're doing their job. If SLED said that you're going to wait until we give the ballistics on confirmation on who this gun belongs to and where these rounds come from, we're going to do just that. I'm not going to run any of these guys in no one home to please anybody's personal feelings. It's not going to work because you put them at liability. Because the law says if an officer is in your home and they unlawfully or illegally try to effect an arrest and you think you're innocent, there can be some consequences. So before we do that, when SLED signs off on it and the judge said you can go ahead and arrest them, we're going to do that. There's a few more we're going to get. But that arrest and those arrests, those individuals, just a few. The rest of them are coming. Now, just letting you know this right now. There are some are going to beat us back to Lake City after we drop them off at the court. Let me guess, that's the police fault. But the thing about it is, one of y'all going to give them a gun as soon as they get back into town. Whose fault that is? But it happens. It's a revolving door with the court system. All I ask for you to do is if you see something, say something. Be safe. That's all you can do. If you know those individuals do not have the right to possess a firearm because of their age, because they're irresponsible, or if it's illegal, don't give them a firearm. It's simple. These guns kill. This generation of individuals do not have any heart for a lot of stuff that they do. They're taking lives left and right. But you can blame the police. If it makes you sleep well at night knowing that you're sitting there telling a lie, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Because we're going to be here. We're going to stand the line every day. I fight for officers every day. We're going to stand the line. We're going to arrest them. We're going to investigate. We're going to take our time, like I said before, when I got here a couple years ago. Trust the process. Trust the process. But you're not going to see me in a wild goose chase to find Craig and Craig in your house and you call it from your house. It ain't work. It ain't going to work. Trust the process. Trust the police. And there's a number you can call. You can remain anonymous. Just call and say you got some information on somebody with a gun. You can call now or call us later. If you like the number, I'll give it to you. Because I want everybody to be fair. And I want everybody to make sure that we're on the same playing field. And if you have a weapon or anything in your home that you don't want anymore, and you feel like you need to put it in a safe place, you call the police department. We'll safeguard that weapon. We'll give you a case number. We can tag it into evidence and we keep it in under our safety and stuff. You come back and get it when you're ready. That's all you got to do. But don't sell that gun, give that gun to someone else and you know they have it and they kill somebody and you shock and we come knock on your door. Because it ain't funny no more then. But the number you can call is 843-374-7226. It's anonymous. Just leave your name. If you think Craig's got a gun, Molly, Angie, whoever, just call us and let us know. We can go square it away. We can make sure it doesn't fall in anyone else's hand. Like I said, if you know these kids are doing this stuff, and they are, we got the stats to prove it. There's a child up there fighting for his life right now because somebody gave him a gun. We know who it was. Y'all will know who it is soon. Thank you, Mayor Council.
And Mayor Council, as Cooper points out, these are 18 and 19-year-old youths. The city of Lake City has many projects, many opportunities for our youth to participate in, the Boys and Girls Club, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Youth Intervention Program. We have baseball, softball, football. We have basketball through the Recreation Department. We also have a esports program. So we have a lot of opportunities for our youth to get involved with, and even have some people challenged to come up with more opportunities for those that don't like the field sports or basketball. So it's not the fact the city's not doing their part to keep the youth occupied. We want them to be part of the city as a productive part. We want them to grow up and stay out of the gang's hands and stay out of trouble. So we are trying to do our part for our youth. Mayor and council, that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, William Hall, City Administrator. Now we're going to conclude this meeting with our mayor and council reports. And I am going to start with Councilman, are we doing? The two guys. Okay, Askins. Ms. Scott.
First, I want to say congratulations to Councilman Cooper for being elected as a city council member. And also, I wanted to say to Artfield, I remember, I think about 12 years ago when Darla Moore spoke at an event in Columbia, and she announced Artfield. And I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of different in the past 12 years. Some people may not see it, but you've got to be blind, you'll see the difference in Lake City. And, you know, like you say, the officers just say, you beat up on everything within things that we can help. We don't try to help. And I hear it all the time, police don't do nothing, they don't care. But then you got old Nookie sitting in your house, you know he got a gun on him. You know they're loaded, they're packing, they call it now, they got a new name for it. And we don't say anything, then when somebody gets shot, then you upset. But it's not fair, even my children, my grandchildren. And I live in a house, and I know if a bullet comes through that house, it gotta hit somebody. Cause it's all wood. And I'm on the corner. So I see a lot, I hear a lot. But I am truly concerned about everyone here in Lake City. I'm concerned about my safety, I'm concerned about everybody's safety. So any decision that I make, it's not about me, it's not about me, but I feel my obligation to my community is to be available, to hear and try to compromise and bring it back to the city. Because I'm all about the growth, and we hear all the good things that are getting ready to come to Lake City. Let's don't lose that opportunity. Let's continue to work together. And, you know, you don't have to love me. You don't have to like me. But if you're a Christian, you got to love me. I got to love you regardless of what. I can't save anyone I just hate so much that I can't stand them. I don't want to see them or whatever. I may not like what you say to me. I may not like what you do. But believe me, I got to love you. Because one of these days I know, you know, I got to meet my maker. So I thank y'all for coming and for sharing concern about things that happen in Lake City. And if we work together, I believe we can all make a difference here in the city. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out. This has been one interesting meeting. Thank you for addressing your concerns. Also, congratulations to our new council member, Ms. Cooper. Also remember that Art Fields is April 19th through the 29th. And I hope to see you all next month.
Okay, thank you for coming out. It's so good to see so many faces out tonight. I think this is the first time in, oh my gosh, months and months since so many people have attended. And I encourage you to continue to come out to show support and concern for our community. And, you know, it's just always good to gaze upon your countenance. And the only way you're going to learn about something is you come and then you are able to, well, you're not able to ask questions, but you can certainly get on record saying, voicing your concerns. And I want to piggyback on Mr. Jerry Hanner, who stood up and spoke about his bishop's dismay with the city. the bishop sent me a letter. His name is Dr. Carl Ammons. He's the diocese bishop, Carl Ammons. He was very displeased and disappointed with the way, with the lack of responses that he did not get when they were here on March 31st. They fed over 600 citizens with Lake City, Scranton, Johnsonville, and Hemingway. And all he was asking for was police presence only. And the attempts they made failed. And so he sent me a letter. I'm not going to read the letter. It's a long, long, long letter, and I think he addressed it to the mayor also. Well, it's to the mayor and a copy to council members. You all should have gotten a copy. But I could only say, I'm sorry, because he, mentioned that he did talk with the city administrator and promised that there would be police presence there, but there was none. And so that is of a serious and grave concern. I pray that in the future, if they should request assistance from the city of Lake City, that we are able to deliver. And again, hope you all had a good Easter. And look forward to Art Fields. Thank you again for coming.
It's good to see everyone out tonight, coming out to support.
Oh, congratulations, congratulations. Excuse me, congratulations, Miss Councilmember Cooper.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
I was gonna let her go last. Like I said, I want to congratulate Miss Cooper here on her successful win of her council seat. I know she's gonna do good. And nice to see everyone come out, voice your opinions. We all up here working hard for y'all. We may look like a dysfunctional family, but we all love each other up here. So nobody get the wrong impression of these good stewards right here that y'all put to serve y'all. And that's all I have for tonight. But I love seeing y'all. Hope y'all had a good Easter. If you have any question, I got business cards in my truck outside. Give me a call. I'm here. I'm new, and I'm eager to learn. So we're just going to keep it going from there.
Well, again, thank you. I forgot to thank my mother. I know I thank my dad. But thank you to my mom. Thank you to my brother for their support. As well during my campaign. My brother, he did a lot of videos for me. My mom, she is a big encourager. She always wants me to do best, and that's why I am the woman that I am today, because of Jeanette Nero.
All right.
So kudos to my mom. Going forward, like I said again, I'm excited. I'm excited about the new journey that God has given me. I just pray that He continues to let me be a vessel to help His people. Thank you to all my District 4 citizens that I do see. Thank you guys for your support. Again, I am your voice for our community. So if you have any concerns, anything like that, you guys can always contact me. And if you need my number, after the meeting, I can give you my number. I can give you my address so that you guys can always keep in contact with me. And also to add to what the chief said, just stay vigilant. Stay vigilant in your community and report stuff, because that's the only way that things are going to get handled. I mean, of course, we can't do everything ourselves. That's why we do have a police department to help us and to help maintain the safety of Lake City. I'm just happy to be in this position. I'm ready to work with my fellow council members and the mayor, and also the other department heads of the city. And there is a great work to be done in Lake City. Lake City is moving forward, and I'm just happy. So I'm just happy that I'm here to help with the moving forward of the city's business. Again, thank you all, and I appreciate y'all. Good night.
Thank you, council members, for your reports.
I'm going to start off with congratulations to our newest elected council member, Councilwoman Dewanica Cola Cooper. You are the council member in the district I live in. I started there 2 years ago, so it's a great honor to pass that on to you. And I know you're going to do an awesome job. And I am definitely here. You have my number. Anything, we have already talked, already said, I'm just excited. I'm excited for you. And just ready to work along with you. So welcome aboard. I do have some announcements. This Saturday, April 15th at 11 a.m., we will be having a dedication ceremony for Dr. Ronald E. McNair footprints. We removed these footprints from Lions Park, and they are being placed or already have been placed at the Memorial Park on Main Street. And we're doing a dedication ceremony for his footprints at 11 a.m. this Saturday, if you can make it out. Also this Saturday, April 15th, the Lake City High School Alumni Association will be having their kickball tournament picnic at Blandon Street Park from 8:30 to 4 p.m. Art fields do begin April 19th to 29th. Come out and enjoy all the great events that's planned. It will be 11 days for the 11th year. I thank Ms. Burns for coming out and giving her presentation on that with all the smiles. So we're ready for art fields. Citywide cleanup will be on April 18th, next Tuesday, a Tuesday coming from 1 to 3. We will have the city staff, students, and community members. Please come out. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get our streets clean. We want to make sure that our city is clean. We have a lot of great things coming. A lot of people looking at us, a lot of jobs, investors coming. So we want to make sure that our city is beautified. And that takes everyone to do so. Once again, thank everyone for coming out to express your concerns, your ideas. That's what makes the betterment of our city, us working together to do so, to keep our city moving forward. Let's remember the civility pledge that we state before every council meeting. Civility, respect, and solutions. We all have a duty making sure that our communities and city is growing, safe, and clean. So we have to make sure that we go by the civility pledge. Once again, civility, respect, and solutions. I want to thank the PD Coalition for their tireless efforts in making sure that the message gets out about sexual abuse awareness, assault awareness, and Child Abuse Month. Let's speak up and speak out about violence. I thank everyone for coming and bringing all their comments and concerns. Some already have been addressed, and some will get addressed. We just need to make sure that we are all here for one another. We all are here to serve you. You placed us in office, and we're all here to serve you. We all fall short. We all do. I'm not perfect. We all fall short. But we're all here to pick each other up as well. And that's what we must do. So I thank everybody for your time tonight. Congratulations again. And I just need a motion to adjourn.
So move.